Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope your day is starting off just fantastic. I don't have fantastic news for you today. I have the opposite of fantastic, just a disastrous set of numbers for the United States. US lost a surprising 92,000 jobs last month as unemployment rate ticks higher to 4.4%. I would leave out the word surprising in this headline. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, revisions also cut 69,000 jobs from December and January payrolls. Construction companies cut 11,000 jobs last month. Healthcare firms shed 28,000 jobs. Factories cut 12,000 jobs and have lost jobs for 14 of the last 15 months. Restaurants and bars lost 30,000 jobs. Administrative and support service firms lost nearly 19,000 jobs, and couriers and messenger services lost 17,000 jobs. Employers were reluctant to hire last year because of uncertainty over the bombastic buffoon's tariffs and the unpredictable way he rolled them out. Really? You think the way he rolled out the tariffs caused some uncertainty? No shit, Sherlock.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Reported in the Canadian press, Dow drops 900 after oil prices jump to highest in nearly 2 years, and data shows a slowing U.S. economy. And reported here on the Visual Capitalist website, unemployment nears 4-year high as job growth stalls. CNN reports jobs are falling, spending is too. That's a problem. Yes, that's a problem, as companies have had to pay these import taxes, these tariffs on imports. They haven't had money to be able to hire people, and in fact, they're laying people off. And people that don't have jobs don't spend very much. And this is a snowball that's rolling down the mountain and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the world investment community is noticing, reported here on Reuters, U.S. equity funds see biggest outflows in 8 weeks. And this is happening at the same time that, reported here on the Financial Post February 26th, this year, foreign investment surges into Canada, strongest level since 2007. But I thought the president said that there was trillions of dollars coming in, and we're collecting so much money from these tariffs that we're becoming rich, and the United States is the hottest country in the world. Where's all the money? Well, reported here on Reuters, the U.S. collected $166 billion under the IEEPA duties, Customs Agency says. $166 billion of import taxes that American companies and consumers had to pay. Who has that money? The federal government has that money. Reported here on CBC, companies are lining up for refunds after the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down the economic illiterates' tariffs. So now the federal government has collected these billions of dollars, some of which they collected illegally, according to the Supreme Court, and they have to pay back $166 billion of the amount they collected. The government will fight this in court and never pay that back. But the federal government has this money now. What are they doing with this money? Where's this money going? Why do they have this money? What are their plans with this money? Well, I'll tell you exactly where the money's going. To buy bombs, to buy missiles, to buy fuel for aircraft carriers and fighter jets, to supply interceptor missiles to Israel and bases in the Middle East. The United States is spending billions of dollars a day fighting a war in Iran. That's where the money's going. Now, I don't know if this was the plan from the beginning. We will never know that. But I can make the educated guess that this economic illiterate who runs your country, this president, your leader, is probably not making all these decisions himself. He has a core, a group that has an agenda, that had this plan to embark on this global geopolitical strategy, knowing that this would cost a lot of money, and the decision was made not to campaign on this issue and be upfront with the American people and say, we have a lot of business we need to take care of in the world, and it's going to cost us $2.7 trillion, so we're going to have to raise your taxes so that we can get the money that we need to attack Iran and attack Venezuela and do a few other things in the world that are going to cost our military a lot of money. That wasn't a good winning strategy. So what they did is they lied to you and said that we're going to impose tariffs on all these other nations and they will pay, and that will make America rich. And they've sucked that money out of your economy. They've taken that money from Americans who buy things, that import things. They've taken that money from American companies who import things from other countries, this import tax, making those companies less competitive, making their cost structure increase. Those companies have had to raise their prices, and those companies have had to try and save money somewhere else, and they've laid off Americans. That's the easiest way that they can save money, is to lay off their employees. So now you have the situation that the US administration is carrying out their agenda, and you all paid for it. Americans, tens of thousands of Americans, have lost their jobs so that they could fund this government with tariff revenue so that they can carry out their geopolitical agenda around the world. That's what's happened. And many of those tens of thousands of Americans that lost their jobs, and farmers that are going out of business or having terrible times that don't show up in the statistics because a farmer doesn't lay himself off, but their farms struggle. All of those Americans, there's a certain percentage of those Americans that willingly voted for this administration and this president thinking, yeah, tariffs are a great idea. It's about time those countries paid the United States. It's about time they stopped ripping us off. And all I got to say to all of you Americans that were fooled like that, as Tony Montana said, look at you now, you stupid fucks. Okay, I had to put a little comedy in there. I blurped out the swear word, okay? I blurped out the swear, but I couldn't resist. No matter how hard they try, they pull me back in. Oh, wait a minute. That's a different Al Pacino movie. I'm confused. I just had to do this video just to point this out. And remember at the beginning, I'm kind of laughing here just to inject comedy. Well, I made myself laugh, I'm sorry. But I pointed out at the beginning of the video, this is terrible news. It's horrible news for the United States and the United States people. And about a year ago, I did a video on this, and I said, you can try and find this video. I said that these policies are terrible, they're horrible, but I didn't believe that one person, one man, one idiot, one bombastic buffoon, on his own, could crater the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy is too big, too diverse, too resilient. It has so many different sectors that one person, even if he imposes the worst possible policies on earth, can't single-handedly sink this ship. It's just too big. But I got to say that this one guy has tried his best. He's destroyed the tourist influx into the United States. He's destroyed the wine and spirits exports of the United States. He's now destroying the manufacturing jobs in the United States. He's increased the cost for every business that imports things in the United States. He's alienated all the U.S. allies. He's thrown away all the goodwill the United States had with many other countries who are not seeking to expand their relationship with the United States anymore, who are seeking to diversify and do deals with other countries. So if you could have picked a guy that would try his best to sink this ship, you've got the right guy. But I still think that the ship will not sink. The U.S., I still have to believe the economy is too, like I said, too diverse and too big to be sunk by one buffoon. But it will slow down, and it is heading for troubled waters. And like I said at the beginning of the video, a lowering tide lowers all ships. And this is not going to be just a U.S. effect. This is certainly going to affect Canada and the rest of the world. And the United States, thank you very much for leading the world. You are the leader of the free world, the beacon on the hill for everyone to aspire to. You have led the world directly into a huge storm. And this is going to be a very turbulent time in the world. In this video, I'm talking about economics, but in a lot of different things. But economically, the outlook is very volatile. It's very insecure. You know, it really matters who you vote for and what their policies are. And I usually focus on the economy and the economic policies because they're very pervasive, right? You have a certain economic policy, a tariff policy, and it's like the butterfly effect. This affects this and that affects that. And down the road, there's one particular person living in Arkansas at a factory who loses their job, and they don't know why. They didn't pay the tariffs. They didn't import anything. Their company is not really a big importer of anything, but they lost their jobs, and so did 10 of their friends, and they don't know why. And it's because the whole economy is connected, and the people that are losing their jobs because their companies have to try and cut back, they've stopped spending, and they've stopped spending maybe on the products that business in Arkansas was making, and it's all connected. And a rising tide lifts all ships. And this is what the United States, under the direction of that complete and total idiot that you elected, doesn't understand. He had a situation, he inherited an economy that was integrated with the whole world, that he could have expanded by integrating more with the world. Instead of wanting a bigger piece of a smaller pie in isolation, they could have had the same size piece of a much bigger pie, and everyone would be better off. And he just doesn't seem to understand that. He's very confrontational, transactional, believes that there's only a winner and a loser. But now it seems the biggest losers are Americans. Leave your comments in the comment section and let me know your perspective. And let me point out that this picture was posted in the I Choose Canada group by Lily. These are Canada geese swimming in a perfect line in the Welland Canal. And she took this picture in black and white. I guess she's quite the photographer and shared this picture for us. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone. And I'll catch you all on the next one.